See children, we have completed with an adjective, that is, what is an adjective? It describes a noun, that is person, place, animal or thing, and we have seen the 4 types of adjectives in that. That is, first one we have seen adjectives of quality, then adjectives of quantity, adjectives of number and demonstrative adjectives. Now, we will be moving to the next type, that is interrogative adjective. Next is interrogative adjective, and it is very easy. This is interrogative adjectives. Also children, there are some clues we can say, or there are some hints when we use those words, we will be getting the adjectives of quality, that is what kind of words, what kind of this word, if you use these words, if you use, you will be getting adjectives of quality. Second, if you ask how much, you will be getting adjectives of quantity, and how many for adjectives of number. And then about demonstrative adjective, if you ask when, okay, or which one, you will be getting demonstrative adjective. Now, if you ask the question, or if you want to ask a question, sometimes what we do, we ask the questions. So, that adjective is called as an interrogative adjective. For if you write, suppose if I write all these sentences now, what animal is that? What animal is that? And I am going to put a question mark. Then, whose book are you reading? And here you are going to put a question mark. In both the sentences, you have asked the question. The words like what, whose, which, these adjectives, they describe animal, book and dress respectively. We ask the questions. When we ask the questions, those adjectives are called as interrogative adjectives because we ask the questions and we get the answer. Now, questions we ask means many words are like that. There are like what, whose and which. If you use these words for the asking the questions, you will be getting the answer for interrogative adjective. So, here if you see the sentences, what animal is that? Then you have asked a question about what animal is that. The word what itself, the question itself, it gives the answer for interrogative adjective. Then whose book are you reading? Here you have used the question words to ask the questions, that what and whose, or which one more, which dress do you want? Which dress do you want? Here also you have asked the question which. So, these words what, whose and which, they are interrogative adjectives because here you ask the questions by using with the help of these words. So, that is why these words are called as interrogative adjective. See, it is told an interrogative adjective is an adjective which asks the question. Examples they have given what, whose and which. This was about interrogative adjective. It is very easy. And the last type, if you see, that is possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. Now, we have seen in the nouns possession, what is the meaning of a possession? I have told you over that. Possession means what? Which shows, which is of your own, or which is of your own belonging, which you possess, that is called as possessive. Then a possessive adjective. Last type you are going to learn, that is possessive adjective. So, what is possessive adjective? Suppose if I write this sentence, my book is lying on the table. My book is lying on the table. And second one, if you see, they sold their house. They sold their house. So here if you see my and their, here if you ask, it tells us whose book, that is my book, and here they sold their house, here it tells whose house, their house. So my and their, they are the adjectives. My tells that the book belongs to me, or it is my possession, or it is my belonging, and their house means the house belongs to them. So that is their belonging. So these adjectives, it shows the possession or it shows the belonging, they are called as possessive adjectives. The adjectives which shows the belonging or which shows the possession, they are called as possessive adjective. A possessive adjective is an adjective that shows possession or belonging. For example, we can take his, her, our and your. Then if you ask the question whose for possessive adjective, you will get the answer for your question. If you ask the question whose book, my book, whose house, their house, okay. So you will be getting the answer for your question, that is possessive adjective. I hope children you have understood with all types of adjectives. First one, then we will be moving to the next exercise, that is J. Underline the interrogative adjective. See here, if you see the exercise, underline the interrogative adjectives and circle the possessive adjective. First one, if you take, children open page 15 of your English book. I will write that sentence on the board. Children open your book, open page 15 of your English book. And one more sentence, if I will take, my pet is not well. My pet is not well. And one more sentence, if I take, which dress do you like the best? Best. If you see all these three sentences, here it is told that you have to underline the interrogative adjectives and you are going to circle the possessive adjective. If you see the first sentence, children open page 15 of your English book. Whose English book? Your English book. So you are going to, this is possessive adjective, so you are going to circle it. You have asked a question for the first sentence, that's whose English book? That is your English book. So this will be possessive adjective, and as they have told in the exercise, you have to circle them. Second, if you take, my pet is not well. Whose pet? My pet. So my pet means which adjective it is? Yes, it is possessive adjective. That's why you are going to circle it. If you take the third sentence, which dress do you like the best? Here you have asked a question, that is interrogative adjective. So they have told to underline. So you have to underline the word which, because you have asked the question here. So this was the exercise J. Okay. So we have done with the exercise J. You have to underline the interrogative adjectives and circle the possessive adjective in the exercise. If you move to the K exercise, pick the adjectives in the following story and mention their type. Now they have given one big passage over here. So what you have to do, you have to underline that adjective and you are going to write whether it is adjective of number, quantity, quality, demonstrative, possessive or interrogative on top. I will suppose if like this it is. Suppose if it is like this, if you take the first line of your paragraph, that passage, what it is? One day two merchants named Ram and Sham. One day two merchants Ram and Sham. Ram and Sham. Now, if you see in the first line, you can see one adjective. One day two merchants. How many merchants? Two merchants. So, you are going to underline that adjective, and top of that you are going to write that is adjective of number. It is telling the number. So, it is you are going to write like this, underline that adjective and write on top adjective of number. Okay. Then if you move further, came to the magnificent court of Akbar. Came to the magnificent court of Akbar. Magnificent means very, we can see very attractive, we can see, or very amazing, like that. So, came to the magnificent court of Akbar. So, what kind of court it was? It was a magnificent. What kind of? When do we use these words to ask the question, to get an adjective? When we want the answer for adjective of quality. So, here the court is described, or we have told the quality of the court. So, this is quality, adjective of quality. So, in this way you are going to complete with the exercise K, as well I will be sending you for that answer. Next we will be moving for the exercise L. Fill in the blanks with adjectives that mean the same as. Okay. See, full of happiness, you are going to write in those blocks. Full of happiness is what? Some alphabets they have not told, you have to complete those blocks. Full of happiness, suppose they have given like this now. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5. Last alphabet they have given. So, full of happiness is what? Happy. So, you are going to write like this, HAPPY. Second one, if you take full of color, what is the answer for that? That is colorful. COLOURFUL. Colorful. In this way, you are going to write the answers. Third one, liked by many. Liked by many is what? Popular. Popular. I will write only the answers for you on the board. You have to fill it up in your blocks. Third one is liked by many means famous or popular. So, third is popular. Fourth one, without fear, fearless. Without fear is fearless. Fifth one, made of gold, that is golden. And sixth one, full of kindness, that is kind. Seventh, full of doubt, doubtful. Eighth one, full of interest, interesting. RESTING. Ninth one, without home, homeless. All these words you are going to write it into capital letters. And last is with full of courage, courageous. COURAGEOUS. A G E O U S. In this way, you are going to write all the words in this exercise, exercise L. So, you are going to write all these words in capital letters in this exercise. I hope children you have understood all the exercises and what is an adjective and types of adjective. So, once again we will be starting with again the same thing. See, what is an adjective? An adjective is what? It describes a person, place, animal or thing. And what are the types of adjectives? Once again we will recall it. I will give you 1 minute for this. So, I told you an adjective is what? An adjective, it describes a noun. It describes a person, place, animal or thing. Then types of adjectives are what? First type I told you. First type is adjective of quality. First is adjective of quality. If you ask the question that what kind of, if you have time you can write it in your notebook, so it will be easy for you. What kind of, if you ask the question what kind of, you will be getting the answer for adjective of quality. You will be getting the answer for adjectives of quality. What kind of person, what kind of animal or what kind of thing. This will be only for person, animal or thing, or what kind of place also we can say. Then second type is adjectives of quantity. Adjectives of quantity. Here if you ask the question by using these words, that is how much, you will be getting the answer. Quantity here we use only for the thing, how much quantity that thing is. So, if you ask the question by using the words how much, you will be getting the answer for adjectives of quantity. Third one, adjectives of number. Adjectives of number, if you ask the question by using how many, you will be getting the answer for adjectives of number. How many persons, how many animals, how many things or how many places. Here only we will be asking for thing. Here person, place, animal or thing. Here also persons, place, animal or thing. How many persons, animals or things. So, that time we will be getting the answer for adjectives of number. Next, fourth type is demonstrative. Demonstrative. Now, before that adjective of quantity and number I told, some adjectives are like that, we can use them for quantity also and for the number also. And next we can, I told you some adjectives like little and few. Little is for quantity and few is for number. Little is used for uncountable noun, few is used for countable noun. Then much and many, much is used for quantity, many is for number, and much is used for uncountable noun and many for countable noun. The next is demonstrative adjective. Fourth is demonstrative adjective. Here we use to point out the things, or person or animals we can say. And here we use, if you want to ask the question, if you want to get the answer, so you will be using this word, like we can say, here we can use the word which one. These words we use to ask the question and we will be getting the answer for demonstrative adjective. Which one? Which one? Then this book or that tree, then these pencils or those chairs we can say. This, that, these, those, these are the demonstrative adjectives. This and that we use for singular nouns, these and those for plural nouns. This and these when it is very near for us, and that and those if it is far from us. So, these are the adjectives like this, that, these, those, they are used as demonstrative adjectives. And next one is interrogative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives. Here we ask the questions. We ask the questions and then we get the answer. So here if you go on asking the questions by using these words, which, what, or whose, and many other. These words are used to ask the questions and those words are called as interrogative adjectives. And the last type is possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. So if you use the word whose, use this word to ask the question whose, you will be getting the answer for possessive adjective. You will be getting the answer for possessive adjective. So these all are the 6 types of adjectives, as well as we have completed with the exercises from A to L. So each and every exercises I have explained by giving 2 to 3 examples. And what you have to do, whenever I will be sending you the exercises, you have to write down the answers. I will be sending you in the PDF form. So you complete those exercise on time, because grammar, if you keep it pending, then you won't be understanding what will be the correct answers for each and every exercise. I hope children you have understood with this exercises and the types of adjectives. If you see the 9th lesson, adjectives, degrees of comparison, I will tell you in short. I won't be explaining you in brief, because we will be continuing this lesson with the next episode. But in short, I want to tell you there are 3 degrees of comparison. Which are those? Yes, that is positive, comparative and superlative degree. Positive, comparative and superlative degree. So what is positive degree? First of all, we want to know what is degrees of comparison. Degrees of comparison. In degrees of comparison, we use only adjective of quality. We use only adjectives of quality to show the degrees of comparison. What type of quality each person or each animal, each thing or place is having, and at what degrees they are up to that extent, we are going to show, we are going to learn in this lesson, that is adjectives, degrees of comparison. And degrees of comparison, we in this we use only adjectives of quality. We use only adjectives of quality. And I told you there are 3 degrees of comparison, that is positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. So these are the 3 degrees which we use for adjectives of quality. So if you take, suppose now I will write some sentence. Degrees of comparison. Children, why I am taking this continuously, because it comes under adjectives only. So, we will be continuing with the next topic also. So, adjectives, degrees of comparison. I told adjectives of, we use only adjectives of quality for degrees of comparison, and there are 3 degrees, that is positive, comparative and superlative. So, if I write one sentence, Ajay is tall. Ajay is tall. I will be just explaining and we will be doing with the exercise in the next episode. Then, if I write the second sentence, Vijay is taller than Ajay. And last, if you take the sentence, Rajesh is the tallest of the 3. Rajesh is the tallest of the three. If you see in all the three sentences, one adjective is common, that is tall, that is adjective of quality. That is tall, taller, tallest. Okay, tall, taller, and tallest. So I told you, as I told you, in adjectives degrees of comparison, here we see only adjectives of quality, and 3 degrees I told, that is positive, comparative, and superlative. So what is positive degree? See, when we use adjective tall, we compare with only one person, with anyone we can compare, that is positive degree. But if you see in the second sentence, we use taller when we compare between two persons. Here we compare with any one person. Here we compare with any two persons, and last, here we can compare between two or more persons, Okay. So once again I want to tell you, adjectives of degrees of comparison, here we talk only about the quality, adjectives of quality, and the three degrees are like positive degree, comparative, and superlative degree. And positive degree is what? We compare, we show the comparison with only any one person, and for adjectives of comparative degree, here we compare between two persons, and last, for the superlative degree, there is comparison between two or more persons. So children, this was just a small explanation for the lesson degrees of comparison. We will be going through the exercises and we will be studying in detail all the degrees of comparison through the exercises in the next episode. I hope children you have understood with all the types of adjectives and degrees of comparison in short. So we will be moving to the next in the next episode deeply with the degrees of comparison. Thank you.